過ぎた季節が嘘だとしても重ねたぬくもりは嘘じゃない君が残した背中の傷跡は今もずっと甘くてだからずっと痛くて
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, and I'm back with you with another new chapter of The Nightly Prince of Kuoh. And in the last chapter, Noctis was getting closer with Mittelt, now knowing that she is somewhat of his, sibling, even though that they're adopted, not by blood after all, and show how much that she, doesn't really care about Azazel, but she is willing to follow his orders given that he is the Governor General and leader of the Fallen Angel faction, but doesn't regret it as she's began taking a liking more and more to Noctis. As for not only that, Noctis and Issei met with Asya and told her about her situation, with Issei making a promise that he'll always protect her no matter what. After making that promise, Asya decides to want to stay with Issei and making a decision about joining Rias' peerage. With that, soon, Noctis finally gets his first request, but from Sona, about dealing with that of a stray devil in Kuoh, at the warehouse district of the docks of Kuoh. Getting his assignment and knowing what he needs to do, he soon meets with Mittelt, the two getting ready, and they head out to defeat the stray devil. So, with that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 6, Astral 6. It's currently now that of 8 p.m. at Kuoh, with both Noctis and Mittelt already heading to the docks, with Noctis using his warp strikes, throwing his sword from building to building, and Mittelt basically flying there, as she could probably head to the docks a lot more faster than, anyone else, than especially Noctis, as he just warp strikes there. However, she wants to be courteous and give him at least some time to catch up, with soon looking back, as Noctis continues jumping, throwing his sword, warp striking there, and then doing it all over again. With soon, she couldn't help but laugh, almost as originally she would think it's kind of pathetic that a human is trying to catch up with her. However, right now, she's not trying to be that of an arrogant, cocky bitch right now. She's just trying to be kind and courteous to Noctis. Well, at least him, for at least some aspect. With then soon, Noctis jumps from another building, throws one of his regular broadswords, and then lands onto the building once more. As they soon arrive at the warehouse district of Kuoh, with then Noctis thinking, "Oh man, I am totally out of shape when it comes to stuff like this." As even though Noctis still has all of his abilities and the true strength that of the true King of Light, given to him by the power of the crystal, but since his body has now regressed back to that of a 15-year-old, let's just say it's going to take a while for him to get used to everything else. It's a good thing that his power level is pretty high, given all the training and things he's gone against back in Eos, with then Mittelt landing on the roof right next to Noctis, with saying, "So, do you know where it is?" Saying, "Not really, no. But if I focus good enough, I could probably sense the stray devil." With Sue, she raising an eyebrow, saying, "You can sense people?" With Ben saying, "Yeah. It was how I was able to sense you trying to attack me. Anybody that has that of ill intent towards me or the people I'm close to, I can sense them." it's kind of a, well, sixth sense, if you say, with then Mittelt saying, huh, honestly, it sounds more like you're using Senjutsu or Tuki, with then Noctis raises an eye, with soon looking at Mittelt saying, Tuki? Senjutsu? The hell is that? With then looking at Noctis saying, wait, you don't know any of that stuff? Saying, no? Should I? Saying, God, seriously, for somebody who's so strong and yet you know nothing of the supernatural, I guess that's what I should expect from it. If then she's stopping herself, as then saying, you know what? Maybe I should stop trying to be a bitch and just realize you're still new to all of this. The only reason that you're so strong is because most likely due to my father. With then soon Noctis wanted to retort, but then realized that even though he wants to befriend Mid-Elf and wants their living situation to work, he still can't fully tell her about him being from another world. What soon just goes with it, with saying, yeah, I was trained by Azazel to get a handle of my powers. Simple as that. After losing my family, that's all. With then soon Mittelt saying, thought so. Still, I've never seen powers like that before. You would think the power you have is close to that of a sacred gear, two sacred gears by the name of Blade Blacksmith and Sword Birth. With then basically raising his head up, saying, oh yeah, I think Azazel told me something about those sacred gears in the book he gave me. That they're basically two common variety sacred gears. Blade Blacksmith is basically a sacred gear that can create holy swords, and Sword Birth is a demonic sacred gear that can create demonic swords. With then saying, wow, you know your stuff. Think, I skimmed it at least a little bit. There's still plenty of other sacred gears I don't know anything about, especially since he writes that shit down on a daily. Might have to read it on my days off. With then Mittelt saying, tell me about it. Guy is obsessed with sacred gears, but personally I can't really blame him. I mean, why would God give humanity sacred gears and yet not do anything for his chosen warriors, the angels? Why not give them sacred gears to protect the world a lot better? Wouldn't that be it's seriously a waste if I do say so. With then Noctis saying, I wouldn't say so. With then Mid-Elf looking at Noctis with a confused look, saying, if I recall, it says that God gave humanity sacred gears to defend himself from the supernatural, such as, the devils, fallen angels, and even God's angels themselves as well. It only makes sense that he would need to give the very humans he created a chance to fight back against the very strong creatures of the world. But not just them, possibly other gods as well, since they exist like those of the Norse, Greek, Shinto, and other pantheons too. With then Mittelt saying, I guess you got a point there, Noct. With soon Noctis shakes his head. With soon he looks back at Mittelt saying, wait, did you just call me Noct? With then Mittelt begins blushing, saying, just don't let it go to your head, okay? It's only easy to remember your name like that. With then Noctis also having that of a bit of, pink on his cheeks. With soon he shakes it, as soon he just smiles, saying, all right, I'll take it. With then soon he felt something, as he feels that of an immense killing pressure into one of the warehouses right next to them, saying, found it. With then she's saying, did you? Yeah, right, it's the warehouse right next to us. Let's get down there. With then Noct basically jumps from one warehouse to the other. With soon she's saying, wait, did he just jump that far without even breaking a sweat? how does he? You know what? I shouldn't judge it. With then she jumping alongside, knocked as well. As this warehouse has that of glass on the top of it. With then the two look inside. With then, they could see that of a man that's basically has quite the muscular and quite fit physique. However, he's shirtless, and only having that of black pants but no shoes. Also has that of slick back black hair. Right now it sounds like he's chewing. With then soon Noct realizes what he's chewing on is part of him wants to vomit and basically scream in revulsion on what he's seeing. With Mittelt seeing the same thing, saying, "Oh my God," but he's currently eating that of a human being. With then Noct saying, "That disgusting bastard. Why? Why would he eat a human?" With then Mittelt saying, "That's the downside of the evil peace system." With then Noct looked at Mittelt saying, "What? I don't know much about it, but from a couple of high-ranking fallen angels, seniors of mine, that taken on stray devils, they say that the evil peace system has that of a fallback function in case the servant of that peace goes on a rampage. Turns out, if that servant begins to lose it and go insane, or turns to their master, either by killing them, attacking them, or running away, then their body begins to mutate. Their magic begins to decrease drastically, even as for a devil. And, they turn to sustain themselves. They have to continue to kill and eat anything from that of humans, fallen angels, mythical creatures such as elves, dwarves, and that of familiars too. Hell, I even heard a rumor about a stray devil that reached the level of ultimate class by devouring a dragon, even a weak dragon such as a wyvern. With hearing that, Noct stands up. With then he brings out one of his spears. With then she's saying, "What are you?" With then tossing the spear down into the warehouse, destroying the glass in the process. With then the man basically stopped eating. With then hearing the noise. With then seeing the lone spear. As then Noct appeared, saying, "Huh? Wait, you don't smell like a devil. You smell like a human. Ha, great. Another meal, and it's a..." Without him finishing, soon Noct throws his spear once again towards the stray devil, with then stabbing him right in the gut. With soon warp striking right towards him, grabbing the spear, and with all of his force begins to spin him around, tossing him to the ground. As then soon the guy rolls before being thrown into a couple of abandoned boxes and crates. With then Mittelt seeing this, saying, "Holy crap, he was able to throw him that effortlessly? I know he's a human, but to kill a stray devil, but I could tell by his power, he's no regular stray devil. He's at least at a high class, low high class at that. Oh man, and I had to be so weak. Why am I?" With then Noct to saying, "Mittelt, calm yourself. I can tell that your heart is racing quite a bit. You're in fear. You're scared." With then she looked at Noct saying, You can notice?" As saying, "It may not be on your face, but your heartbeat. You're sweating. Not only that, you're shaking as well." With then noticing that her body is shaking in her Gothic Lita outfit as always, she's saying, "Can you blame me? Look at that thing. With soon it gets out of the crates. Within the wound that Noctis dealt on him begins to heal, saying, "You damn bastard! Wait, I see now. You're not just a regular mage. You must be a stray exorcist. I mean, a weak fallen angel like her right beside you. It only makes sense that a couple of fallen will be coming after me. But I must be surprised. Why would the Gogori send two members into that of Grimory and Citri territory? I'm guessing I'm quite higher up on the ranks right now. Cold War swore my ass. It shows that the two devil princesses are so weak that they had to rely on another faction to help them. So just to save face. Wow, I'm gonna have my fun ripping the two of you apart. As he has that of a killer smile, full of malicious and killing intent. First, I'm gonna kill that spiky black-haired pretty boy, and then I may have a little fun with the fallen angel before I devour her. As he says this with a straight face, he's going to make it that of a promise. Then Mittelt couldn't help but feel, oh God, with her fear coming back. As Nox saying, "Mittelt, stay in the air. Focus on supporting me from long range. You're good at throwing those light spears of yours." With Mittelt hearing this saying, "Well, yeah, but I don't know but instead of just trying to pierce him, make your light spears a little bit unstable. Try to make them explode so they can deal damage onto him." With then hearing this, Mittelt couldn't help but open her eyes wide at a realization, saying, "Wow, you got a good battle sense." Saying, I fought with a lot of people before. And let's just say I worked with a certain loudmouth blonde who's good at long range firepower, with not having memories of his best friend, Procto. With then soon Mittelt raising up her two black wings, as then she soon sang, "It would be my pleasure," as she soon flies up and she preparing her pink light spear, twirling it around a little bit as it begins to glow. With then the stray devil saying, "All right then. Like I said, I was planning on saving her for last." And then as he looks directly at Noct, saying, "You're first, you stray exorcist punk!" With then rushing at full speed towards Noctis, with Noctis preparing his spear, before soon tossing it into the air, as then he warp strikes right towards it. With then he couldn't help but say, "That damn ability of his, the hell is it?" With soon looks up, as then switching from his mithril spear, and then decides to go with his great sword. With then go as he soon spins down in full speed, screaming, "Ah!" as then cutting him down, as soon creating that of a crater. The stray devil soon begins to feel the massive slash from his shoulder all the way to his chest. With then soon he steps back, saying, "Damn it! He's able to swing a sword that huge without even breaking a sweat." With then thinking, "Enough of this bullshit. I'm going to." With soon preparing that of magic circles around his arms. With then his arms begin to glow that of a piercing red. With then as he soon rushes towards Noct once again. With then he was about to punch the guy. However, soon Mittelt's light spear lands down right in front of him, as it soon explodes. With then saying, "Ah, damn it, that fallen angel." With as into the smoke, Noctis comes out, slashing him again. With then saying, "It was a distraction." With then as Noctis slashes over and over again. However, the stray devil begins to block each and every strike from his great sword. With then soon the two get into the deadlock as Noct was about to go for a downward strike. However, the stray devil soon puts his arms together, with one up top and one below, with then as the two are struggling into that of a deadlock, with then saying, I never thought a human like you could rival my strength and power. Saying, seriously? I've dealt with people a lot more stronger than you. I think I could handle this all by myself if I wanted to. However, I'd rather be safe than sorry, after all. With then saying, you're going to be sorry and dead when I'm done with you. With Noct couldn't help but basically smirk, saying, like to see that. With then dropping his greatsword as it soon decrystallized, as then Noct brings out one of his royal arms, as he brings out the axe of the conqueror, with then spinning it around for a bit before bringing his axe down onto his arms. With then, however, the magic that was basically reinforcing the stray devil's arms with that of a high defense and power soon are cut off. With then he soon screams out, "Ah, you little shit! You fucking piece of crap! How dare you!" With then soon Mittelt sends another light spear. However, it soon, instead of using it as a diversion, she soon throws it straight at the guy's chest, sending him flying back. With then soon Mittelt saying, "We're doing it. We're actually doing it." With then she internally thinking, I thought all this time that Noctis did all this but by fluke. That if it wasn't being trained by that crappy father of mine, maybe he wouldn't have gotten the drop on me or Raynor, or be this lucky. But instead, he actually knows what he's doing. He's actually something quite amazing. It's almost like he's a born leader when it comes to fighting. And not only that, he was able to reassure me that we're going to live. Who are you, Noctis? Calum. With then, soon, the devil basically standing back up as his arms still continue bleeding. With then, magic circles come around his arms as he soon regrows his limbs. With then, Noct saying, "Oh shit, I didn't know devils could do that." With soon, the guy saying, "Most devils can't. However, when I was human, I had a unique form of magic, actually." With then, soon, Noct saying, "Unique form of magic?" Saying, "Yeah, that's right. Unique form of magic." That magic was called that of vessel magic. Basically, the magic in my body amplifies whatever parts of my body. It can heighten its defenses, increase its power, and even amp up my regeneration. However, as long as I have enough mana, I can basically do whatever the hell with my body I want. I can become a literal indestructible tank. I can become that of an unstoppable dreadnought. Hell, I can literally heal from literally anything. Well, besides decapitation, as he says the last thing to himself, quietly without Noctis or Mittelt hearing this. However, thanks to Mittelt being a fallen angel, her heightened hearing actually heard that. With then, she's saying, if that's the case, then with soon Mittelt basically going down to Noct as whisper into his ear, with then saying, all right, if that's his weakness, then I think we got this in the bag. All I need to do is make an opening for you to hit him, and then I'll deal the final blow. With then she nodding. With soon, Noctis puts away the axe of the conqueror. With then switching to to 2 daggers, with then spinning them around and preparing to strike, with then saying, "You want to continue to go on, brat? Fine, but I'll let you know. Let's make this a battle of nutrition. Who can last longer, me or the 2 of you? But I'll let you know. The piece that I was given when I was once still a devil before going stray was a rook piece, which means my durability and strength are basically off the charts no matter what. Add that with my vessel magic, I'm literally unstoppable. You may have had a couple of lucky hits on me, but that's because I was overconfident. Now that I know what I'm dealing with, I can handle this effortlessly without even breaking a sweat. So let's go, you little shits!" With then, his arms and legs begin to glow red as he amplifies his speed, his durability, and power of his own arms and legs. With then rushing towards Noctis as Mittelt flies back up. With then, the 2 begin to clash as then a shockwave happens into the warehouse as then the glass begins to shatter. However, the magic coming from the stray devil begins to leak off. With then, both Sona and Tsubaki could feel it. With then, soon, a blonde-haired boy is in the student council room with everyone else of Sona's peerage as well, and saying, "Madam President, what is it?" With then Sona shaking her head saying, It's nothing, Sachi. I was just distracted, that's all." With then Sachi saying, "Oh, okay. But like I said, I will accept being part of your peerage. I will accept becoming a devil. And I swear I will do my best in your name." With then Sona hearing this as she smiles, saying, "Good, and I expect nothing more from a servant of the Citri family of mine." As then she brings out pawn pieces. However, 4 pawn pieces soon fly into Saji's body. With then saying, "Just as I expected, you're quite strong if you're able to absorb 4 pawn pieces." With then she's seeing that Ryuku only was able to take 1 pawn piece. So now I only have 3 pawn pieces left. I'll use them for later, possibly, if I can convince Noctis-kun to join my peerage. With then soon Saji saying, "Whoa, what's this feeling? It feels so weird. I feel normal but different at the same time." With then soon Ryui saying, "You'll get used to that, Saji-kun. Your body is just starting to acclimate to becoming a devil. Just be lucky that you were able to become one by normal means instead by, almost nearly dying." With then Saji hearing this saying, "Wait, what? I can be revived by almost nearly dying?" With then Tsubaki nodding, saying, "Yes, you can. So, be mindful that that you were not the target of certain fallen angels in town were able to go after." With then hearing this, soon Sachi saying, "Wait, fallen angels? They were actually here in town? Who was their target?" With then Sona saying, "That doesn't matter right now. Right now, just focus on getting used to becoming a devil. Tomorrow, you'll start your duties as a member of my peerage by taking on contracts, and on some occasions, we may have to go in battles as well. So do not slack off. Isn't that understood, Saji-san?" With then Saji saying, Yes, ma'am. I promise. Like I said before, I will live up to your expectations, President Sona." With hearing this, Sona couldn't help but smile, but part of her mind was elsewhere, as she could feel the magic power coming from the warehouse district as she wonders, Noctis, please be safe. With then, as for Rias, on the other hand, she and her parents were about to head out to the warehouse district about feeling that magic power. But then she realized that Noctis is there, most likely taking on the stray devil, as Sona did inform her that this will be a task for him and him alone, that this will be the first task, with soon Rias looking over on the other contracts that her and her peerage need to take care of, as Kiba and Konako are currently doing their contracts and Issei are getting ready is already on his way for his contract. Still can't use magic circles though, mostly because of his lack of magic after all, and has to ride his bike there. As Asya, who just began turning into a devil, is getting used to her new form body after all, now being the bishop of Rias' peerage. Within Akano, pouring some tea for both Asya and Rias, saying, "You sure that we shouldn't go after that? I mean, I know we have hard duties to gain contracts, but saying this is something that Noctis-kun has to handle. If he can't handle this, that means we can't trust him with anything else. And honestly, if he does die, I think either me or Sona could be able to revive him. Given that he's able to use swords quite effortlessly, I guess he would make a pretty fine knight, actually." I think Sona would believe the same thing. I believe she still has a knight piece after all. With then Akano couldn't help but say, "So you still plan on doing the same plan that you wanted to do with Issei? Allow one of the fallen angels to kill him so he would be loyal to you? But that plan backfired, and yet Issei is still pretty loyal to you." With then Ria saying, "Only by complete and total chance and luck. If I didn't tell him that having a harem is normal for devils, I doubt that he would ever, join me so willingly." With then, soon Akano couldn't help but giggle as she's saying, "That makes sense. This is Issei Hayato we're talking about, leader of the perverted trio, and one of the most hated boys in Kuoh after all." With then Ria saying, "But then there's Azazel-kun, or Calum-kun, as I should say." With then Akano's face begins to sour at least a little bit into a frown, mostly because on the words that, Noctis still said to her about her fake smile and about what she's hiding after all. With then she's saying, "You sure you want somebody like him on your peerage? As soon as he finds out that you reincarnated him into a devil, he will be mad. He said that he'd rather stay human, rather stay who he is and not serve anyone." With then Rhea saying, "Even so, that's just how it is. I mean, it's not like he's still human, and yet he has so much power. Just by looking at him and by his attitude alone, you could say he's just being arrogant. But what I've seen, he might have the power of that of a high-class devil." Hearing this, Akano couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, saying, "You really believe that?" As Rhea saying, just think about it. He was able to effortlessly take out that of a rogue fallen angel who planned on trying to kill Issei effortlessly without even breaking a sweat. Not only that, he's considered to be the adopted son of Azazel, which means he most likely might have been trained by the leader of the Gogori. And plus, like he said, he's not really a member of the Fallen Angel faction. He's unofficially part of them, which means if anything happens to him, I doubt we would see any repercussions whatsoever, since nobody knows that he exists except Azazel, and and possibly a few cadre fallen angels as well. With hearing this, Akino couldn't help but clench her hands as she's still holding on to the teapot around the handle. With then soon Asuya saying, Akino senpai, the teapot. With soon she noticed saying, oh, sorry, did I scare you, Asuya-chan? With then Asuya saying, no, I'm fine, but are you fine? You almost seemed, well, angry by any chance. With then soon Akino couldn't help but say, it's nothing. Trust me, you have nothing to worry about. With then Ria's looking at her childhood best friend / queen, with saying, maybe I should just drop this for tonight. Bringing this up now is not a good idea. But I will think about this. With then Rias can up and say, Noctis, Calum, Azazel, just who really are you? With then back at the warehouse, as shockwaves continue to go around the entire warehouse, as shaking that almost feels like that of a small earthquake continues around the district. With then the two clashing once again. With that, Noctis's knives begin to have that of little chips into them. Not only that, the stray devil having that of blood drawn from his arms as well. However, they begin to heal up once again. With then Noctis saying, damn, seriously, what a pain in my ass. With then soon saying, you're not gonna beat me, so give the hell up and let me kill you already. With then rushing towards Noctis again, as then soon another Mittelt's light spears was about to send at him, before soon slapping it away, even while it's exploding, with his arm still pretty damaged, but not too damaged as it heals up once again, saying, not this time, you little bitch. With soon jumping into the air as Mittelt sees this, with then Noctis saying, Mittelt, move now! With soon he grabs her by her face before slamming her into the ground, creating that of a small dust cloud. With then the back of Mittelt's head begins to bleed. With soon Noctis saying, Mittelt, you bastard! With then throwing both of his knives at the stray devil. With soon, but he deflects each knife, with then Noctis grabbing one of his knives. However, the other knife was pretty close to him as he soon grabs him and has one of his knives at his throat. With soon saying, let her go now. Saying, I wouldn't do that. I mean, my hand is currently on her throat right about now. And unless you want her to have that of a broken neck, or possibly that of a crushed windpipe, I bet you should let go right about now. With then soon Noctis saying, and I can't trust you with that. I mean, you're a psychopath who became a stray devil. I don't know what you did to become one. Then saying, you want to know what I did to become one? Alright, I'll tell you. It's that my king, who is actually a pretty strong and powerful devil, currently at that of ultimate class, I helped him reach the top of being part of the high ranks of rating games. Maybe not in the top 10, but still at least close to the top 20. And then when I reached the level of high class devil, and I was waiting for my chance to finally have my own peerage, my own evil pieces, so I can go around the world collecting people who are the same as me, people who want to grow strong, people who want strength to not feel weak anymore. And yet, You know what my king told me? You know what my king said to me? That you're not worthy to have your own evil pieces. You're nothing but a servant of mine. With then hearing this, my entire life shattered. The man who I saw as somewhat like my best friend, a true leader, a person that gave me a chance to stand on the top of any of the people, the supernatural, basically told me I am nothing but his own property. And you know when I heard that? You know what I tried to do? I tried to kill him. However, many people of his peerage, the people who I also saw as my new friends, tried to stop me, with one of them even trying to kill me. But instead, I killed them in return. So, because of that action, because of that one thing, my body began to mutate. All of the power that I gained as a high class devil basically reverted back to me being nothing but a low mid-class devil. Everything that I did was worth nothing as my body monstrified and turned into something atrocious and something disgusting that nobody could actually recognize was me ever again. But as I began to eat and kill humans, even ended up killing a devil from another devil's peerage, and I couldn't help but regain half of my power back. My body went back to normal, and after that, I gained the taste of flesh and blood and power. If I could keep on devouring more and more humans, devils, angels, fallen angels, and even more, I could reach the same level as that bastard. And I could show him that I was never meant to just be a mere servant, a mere worthless servant, reincarnated devil. I was born to be more. With then hearing this, Noctis couldn't help but listen to the stray devil's rambling, or rather, his sad tale of feeling like he was betrayed, saying, "So, that's your case. You felt like your master betrayed you when he called you nothing but his mere servant. You believe that he saw you as nothing but a tool?" With then saying, "Of course. Why wouldn't he? He didn't give me the chance so I could become a high-ranking noble devil as well, so I can gain my own evil pieces as well. How could I not see that as a betrayal?" With then Noctis saying, "Did you even ask him?" "What? Did you ask him why he refused to allow you to gain evil pieces? Allow you a chance to become a king of yourself, to gain servants of your own?" Saying, "What? Of course not. When he told me he says that I'm nothing but a servant, that I knew he didn't want to ever ask. You didn't bother asking, asshole!" With then Noctis stabs him right in his left arm before stabbing him in his right shoulder blade. But soon, as the stray devil lets go of Mittelt, he soon grabs her, as then holding her in his arms. With then as blood still continues to dribble down the back of her head. With then him bringing out one of his potion bottles as he crushes it, and soon the liquid drips down onto Mittelt. With then she begins to heal. However, she's still a little bit unconscious as he lays her down. With then soon the stray devil grabbing both of Noctis's knives out of his arm and shoulder blade, saying, "You damn brat!" As he gets angry and angrier, his body begins to mutate and transform as spikes begin to come out of his arms, blades begin to come out of his hands, and soon his entire face begins to turn completely and utterly monstrous, like unrecognizable from the man who had that of a gruff but somewhat handsome exterior. With then soon saying, I'm going to enjoy killing you both. With soon not to sink. And it's that very reason on why you don't deserve to be king. Maybe your king could have gone at it differently and told a different reason on why you didn't deserve evil pieces. But it's this, the true nature of who you are. You don't want to give people a sense of strength, to teach them to gain more power. All you want is to lord over people and prove that you're the strongest. Continue to belittle others while you're the only one who can grow strong. That's not a duty of a king. That's the idea of a maniac who only sees himself and as the only person that should exist in the world. With then saying, "The hell you know about me?" With then saying, "Because I know what it truly means to be a king. A king doesn't want recognition. A king doesn't want others to just acknowledge his efforts. A king selflessly gives his life for his people, for his loved ones. A king only cares about what needs to be done for his people and his country. Nothing more and nothing less. A king shouldn't worry about himself when his people are the only thing that should matter. That's why you are not a king. You were never destined to be a king." With then, soon, Noctis' body begins to glow, that of a pure, undeniable light blue. With soon, in his hands, a blade begins to materialize, as it's not in the same way on how he brings out any of his weapons or his royal arms. This blade begins to materialize like a true weapon of light. So that's why I'm going to end you right here and now. With soon a sword, a black blade of gold, red, and white soon materializes in his hands. With then saying, "I'd like to see you try," as the monster soon rushes towards Noctis at full speed, right extending his arm back before soon Noctis rushes towards him as well. However, with one solitary slash, he slices sideways down, and soon cutting the former stray devil in half from his torso, with soon finishing him off by cutting him in two from his decapitated torso all the way down to his head. With then, after that, the last thoughts that the stray devil had saying, "All I wanted was my own kingdom, my own subjects." With then, the light fades from his eyes before dying entirely as blood begins to spill around Noctis behind him, saying, "And that's not why you were never destined to be king." With soon, Noctis looks at the sword that he has, saying, "What the hell is this? I thought I was trying to bring out my Ultima engine blade, not this." Huh. With soon saying, "Wait a minute, I've seen this sword. This is Lord Bahamut's sword. Why do I..." With then soon something begins to play in Noctis' head, and then soon a spell circle coming out of his ear and his eye, as it's both similar as it being Azazel's own personal spell circle. However, instead of him coming out of it, it's soon being that of a pre-recorded message using magic, saying, "Hey, Noct, in case you were wondering, you might be wondering on why you have a sword that looks like Bahamut's. Well, that's the thing. Remember when I told you that when I did some favors for your little crystal god lord. I did a little the things that he gave me in return were pieces of the Astrals, that being the gods of your world, if I recall. So you actually have the pieces of Ifrit, Shiva, Leviathan, Rama, Titan, and even Bahamut as well. All of those pieces and fragments of those six have merged into something that I like to call my very own artificial sacred gear. This artificial sacred gear I created is basically on the same level as that of a Longinus of the original 13. Well, it's not powerful enough as the three strongest ones, but it's at least in the middle, I have to say. So, and you might be wondering what I call this. It's only natural that, well, I didn't make a name for it. I believe that you should be the one to name it. After all, if I was the one who kept this sacred gear, I wouldn't be able to bring out its true power. The reason being, all those gods are connected to the crystal and even connected to the one true king. And if I recall, that's you. With Noctis' eyes widening, saying, so you're the only one that can put it to a true potential, the true strength. I even added up, as for its balance breaker, that's completely up to you. You have to decide on what the balance breaker looks like. After all, just like the devil magic, imagination is everything. So, use that brain of yours. Do what you think is right. Use it how you see fit. With then hearing this, soon Noctis get up and say, Azazel. And good luck. Just message me when you tell me when you give it a name after all. And make sure it sounds cool after all. With then the spell circle soon dissipating. With then Noctis couldn't help but say, Azazel, you gave me this? With soon looking at the sword as it soon faded away into a bright light. Then saying, you gave me something that last reminds me of my world. You created something that gave me the connection back to the very gods who basically put me in damnation just to satisfy that bastard Arden? All because they are the ones who screwed him over to begin with? And soon couldn't help but laugh. With saying, seriously, life really is a bitch, isn't it? With then saying, if this has all the fragments of all of the six astrals, then it's only natural. What should I call it? With then soon Noctis thinks hard with saying, Astral 6, the sacred gear that uses the weapons and power of the six gods of Eos. With then saying that, with that, he soon goes to Mittelt, as she still is unconscious at least a little bit, as he soon begins to carry her bridal style, as then she begins to widen her eyes. With then she's saying, Not? Are you? Saying, it's alright. You're fine. And don't worry. I killed the stray devil. You got nothing to worry about. Saying, you did? How did you? It's alright. I just got something. That's all. Something I hope that I am truly worthy of using. With that, the two go out of the warehouse and soon head back home together, finishing Noctis' first request by Sona. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this? I wanted to find the perfect chance to, Noctis to awaken his artificial sacred gear from Azazel, and how you guys like the idea of this sacred gear being fragments and pieces of the Astrals / the summons from Final Fantasy 15 after all. I mean, I wanted to find a way for the summons to make some introduction to this story, not in a way of them always interfering with Noctis's life and all that, like they do in freaking Final Fantasy 15. Maybe not in the way of being allies in combat, but more in the story sense, where they have to test him of his strength and all that bullshit, and basically guide him to his self-destruction for the sake of the world. So yeah. As for the name, I wasn't really going for anything too complex or crazy. Astral 6 just fits, given that there are 6 Astrals, as basically 6 summon creatures in Final Fantasy 15, so it only makes sense. And come on, when you got sacred gears by the name of Divine Dividing and Boosted Gear, which is pretty damn lazy too, so why should I put a lot of effort into it if the creator isn't going to for some names of sacred gears? So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep up to date on my videos when I upload on this channel. And also check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my main channel, and my Patreon. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care.